Hey.
Hello.
You'll have to admit that's pretty cool.
No, I didn't know we were doing that.
Yeah, I was up late. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make it, and so that's gonna be our new opening thing for our show.
I didn't get to see it.
You didn't see it?
No, it was black.
Did you guys see it?
It was like chippy a little bit.
Hey, guys,
I saw an aspect of it.
I'll send it in the chat, and also go on my Facebook. It's on my Facebook too, and on my Instagram.
True. I have it too.
Yeah. So, hey guys, welcome to a new exciting season of Theater 101.
Season two.
Hi, y'all.
Yeah, so we are actually a little bit more organized this season. I have all our shows already lined up, but as y'all can tell by the title, we're finally doing Dear Evan Hansen because Tyler has been bugging me to do it.
For real. I was gonna ask in chat, like the private chat, if someone was watching the show because I could hear it echoing, but then I realized I was watching it.
I think Christina, you finished it, right?
I was almost halfway done. Yeah, like an hour and 35.
You're more than halfway done.
Yeah.
I'm eating gummy bears, so excuse my eating. I didn't have time to eat anything before the stream. So we're gonna dive right on in, but with one question. If you had to describe this musical in one word, what would you say?
Amazing. I love the show.
I enjoyed it.
Enjoyable?
Yeah. Wasn't my top favorite, but yeah.
I would probably say relatable.
Yeah.
Steph,
I agree.
Yay!
Hi, Mike. Hey, Stephanie.
Hi, Steph. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Well, I can relate. I can relate because I lost a cousin that died from suicide.
Mm-hmm.
So I can relate to that. Yeah.
Yeah, I also had a cousin who committed suicide, and I would have to say my one word would have to be like, well, you already said relatable, so I can't say that.
I hope I don't have using that like those 18 seconds of that song because I got that song off of TikTok.
I would say it was like realistic or something or entertaining.
Yeah.
Okay. So for those who do not know, Dear Evan Hansen, without giving too much away, actually no. Why should I do that? Because we never cared about that before. So Dear Evan Hansen follows the story of a kid named Evan Hansen who suffers from a social anxiety disorder. It's hard for him to make friends, and he's really nervous around people. And he meets this guy Connor, and they have like one interaction, and then he writes letters to himself, hence the Dear Evan Hansen part. A gummy bear almost got caught on my throat. Sorry. And so his parents find the letter on Connor because Connor takes it from Evan. And so Evan gets caught in telling this huge lie, saying him and Connor were best friends, and it all just like we lie, it all falls apart eventually. With some great music. But I will say I don't think a musical has ever made me cry. This musical made me cry. Like it got me.
I feel like this and Into the Woods are the two musicals I cry to every time.
Tyler, I think your mic is messing up.
Hello?
Yeah, it's like staticky. You don't hear that, right?
Okay, so for what were the most emotional parts for y'all?
Probably the
That
will
the
be
part that make you cry every single time.
probably
Is
the
this better?
Yeah, better.
Okay.
Somewhat. But no, but like the You Will Be Found for me definitely got me because we've all like felt that way before, like how we could literally just disappear and nobody would care, and I have felt that way so many times in my life. It is bad. But yeah, that's really the only song that got me. Christina? I know how she's not even paying attention.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was on mute. I think when he was talking to his mother.
What part?
With everything.
Like so many times in this production.
I know, like in the beginning, like he didn't know what was going. He needed help and everything. And I was thinking of my cousin, rest in peace, John. He was 15 years old, and they have 8 kids, and try not to cry, let me not cry, but he had some issues, and he was hanging out with the wrong crowd, and he didn't get to speak out. He was supposed to start a different school before all that happened. And when I found out, I woke up, and my dad woke me up and said, your cousin passed away. And I just like lost it. Because he already knew he was on a life support for 3 days. He, I'm not going to say what he did. I'll tell you backstage.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. But everyone, I'm going to tell you some good details. My family did get a dog. My cousins, after 2 years he passed, they thought it was a great idea to get a dog. They're doing great. They're on grief counseling. Everyone's doing fantastic. And they have their good days and their bad days. But so far, good days.
Yeah.
It's different for the holidays, you know, and their birthdays and everything.
Yeah.
Because he's 1 out of 9. So that's a big family.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Joe?
Because, like, yeah, definitely with the loss of Connor and everything, you know, the heartbreaking feeling of the family just not fully able to accept it. Because I understand that, because like I said, just like Christina, I had a cousin who committed suicide and everything. I'm not going to go into detail about it. That will be backstage. But he unfortunately
don't want to. I'm not requiring you all to share deep, dark things about your family. That's your business. If you want to share it, you are more than welcome to. I'm trying to find a hair tie because I want to put my hair up.
Can I throw you a hair tie?
No. But yeah, I think
Sorry.
I think I've been fortunate. I haven't, not that I know of. I haven't had any friends who have taken their lives.
When you posted a video, Liz, of you in December or November, I just bawled out crying.
Which one?
The one on your channel by yourself.
When I did when I had my mental breakdown.
I started crying.
Yeah, no, it was just a lot. Cry. Yeah, the paranoia of not passing my classes was setting in. It got real bad. But and I guarantee you it's gonna happen again this semester. I didn't think I was doing so well in those classes, and so looking at my classes now, it looks like it's gonna happen again. But but anyway, not to make this all sad and depressing, because it is, even though it does address like serious topics like suicide and anxiety and all that, it is actually a very fun show to see, because it opens your eyes to what it's like being these kind of people. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I have major anxiety, and I have my anxiety attacks are easily triggered. I can't stand it when people tell me, Liz, breathe. You need to breathe. That doesn't help me at all. Okay, I know I'm supposed to be breathing, and I am breathing, but you tell me to breathe is not going to help. So,
right.
Mike here. Oh, I do that, Mike.
I can't see the chat, so
he said,
put it up on the screen.
He said I don't feel comfortable doing that, but he said that he lost his father in October 2001 from suicide. So, but yeah, if y'all ever are feeling down or like, and again, this is like how it is for everything. Anything that y'all going through, if y'all struggling with anything, like depression, anxiety, if you're having to, reach out to me, reach out to Tyler, reach out to any of us, and I'll be more than happy to I'll video chat you on Instagram, and we can just talk or relax. Or yeah, if y'all ever going through one of these times, just reach out to us. Like I want to, if y'all going through something like that, let us know, and I'll do everything in my power to help. So
because like with the character Connor, he dealt with suicide, and then you have dear Evan Hansen, who is dealing with depression and social anxiety and stuff like that. And like like with you, Liz, when you went through your mental breakdown and everything, I wanted to be there for you and comfort you, and I was trying to figure out how to reach out to you because I didn't want to say or do the wrong thing because, you know, I just wanted to be there for you and I wanted to check up on you and make sure you were okay.
Yeah.
See, that's like the thing with me is like when I have one of those mental breakdowns, I literally just shut down. I shut everybody out and I keep it to myself, which is completely unhealthy. And I highly recommend you do not do that. Actually, I demand you not to do that. Don't keep it inside because it will get worse. That's what I tend to do. Is like so people actually have to like sit me down and force me to talk about it, which some of my friends from school did, and eventually got. But yeah, so it's a tricky thing to be somebody to be there for somebody who has to deal with that because you don't know if you say the wrong thing it's gonna set them off or it's gonna make it worse or if it makes it better. So worst case is you always just ask them, what do you need us to do? What do you need me to do? And so a lot of the time they'll just be like, I want to be left alone. Don't leave them alone.
Yeah,
even if they say they want to be alone, don't leave them alone. Especially if they look like it's really bad.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Even if the parents are going, through it.
Yeah.
Because like with me, I somewhat dealt with depression, like not major depression, but I would talk with certain friends and just be like, you know, this is what's going on through my mind right now. You know, I go home and I do this and I do that, and they were like, Michelle, do you realize that's a form of depression? And I was like, it is? I didn't even realize it.
I think you mentioned that in one of the older streams. I think it was probably Rent. I feel like you probably would have mentioned it. But yeah, that is true. Like if you don't close yourself out, it's not going to help. You think it's helping, it's not. It won't help. It will make it worse.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna dive into the production now and get away from all this heavy stuff. So, hang on, I gotta pull up the private chat to see the list. That's how it means.
So the first song I can just say on the private chat. We have Anyone Have a Map, which is basically like the opening number or whatever. And
in my opinion,
what, Liz?
I feel like it was a little slow in my opinion. That's just me.
Yeah, it's a little slow going.
Yes, I agree with that.
Christina, get off the phone.
Come on.
Sorry, what was your question? Sorry.
The first song.
We're discussing
the first song.
Yes.
Anybody have a map? I thought it was really good. Like it was emotional. Like because what I was reading from before watching the film, I was like looking it up what this show was about, and it just was like I was just thinking of my two cousins. So like just thinking of them, you know.
Yeah.
It's all thinking of people that have lost their loved ones.
I'm gonna move to Michelle's favorite song.
And that, okay, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Did you have something else to say?
I was going to say something about the second song, but I'll wait until you guys are ready.
I like a little bit of the harmony, like in it. I think that's. And Anyone Have a Map? I think that's like maybe like one. That's probably like the main thing I like about it is the harmonies in it. The song is really well written. I feel like it could be maybe a little faster of like a pace, maybe.
Tempo, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was I'm not gonna lie. I may or may not have fallen asleep by accident when I started watching it because the first few songs are kind of slow. They might be loud and but they all kind of. And I had to rewatch it because I had woken up and it was like the show was almost over. I was like, oh crap, I gotta rewatch it again.
Yeah.
When you actually pay attention, it actually is a very good play, production. But so since this is Michelle, I was about to say Michaela. Since this is Michelle hashtag, we're gonna start with her about waving through a window. Go for it, Michelle.
So waving through the window is basically Dear Evan Hansen, like me and a bunch of other people, they just want to belong. They feel like they're looking through a window. They feel that everything is happening, but we're on the outside looking in, and we want to belong. And that's how Dear Evan Hansen.
Alphabet vibe. That song reminded me of Alphabet, how she just wants to belong.
Of course, the Wicked references.
Hey, I'm not ashamed of it.
Hey, that's a very good point.
Can I say something about the song? Of what
Yeah, go
Michelle
for it.
picked? So when I was watching it, I was looking out the window every time I was hearing the song, and I'm just thinking, because it's like waving through a window, you're thinking of your, you look up in the sky. Listen, you look up in the sky, and you're thinking of who passed away. You know what I mean? Like I'm looking out the window when it's sunny out. That's what the song. I was looking when I was listening to it. I had to like look out the window, and got out of my chair or my bed, and look out the window and just think of them. Don't
Your
talk
bed is
about
way
it.
over the ground too.
Yeah, I know. Everyone loves it.
Yeah. Waving through the window is probably my.
Yeah, your mic's messing up again.
Of course it is. Yay!
Just use your AirPods.
Hello.
That's better.
Okay. I think the cable was kind of coming out of it. Okay. Well, waving through the waving through a window. It's a really good song. I think my second favorite in the whole show.
Same.
Second, third favorite. Really well written. Just love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's one of those kind who like. So that's what I love about the music in this production. That it actually makes you think a little bit.
Right.
Look, you can't just turn it on. You have to actually think about what they're saying. And so I just looked down and my Facebook was open and my friend Taji's in a relationship now. Oh, Taji.
Liz.
Yeah.
Back to the show.
Yeah, you didn't want.
Sorry. I'm talking about my friend.
Wait, is that Kyle you saying?
No, Taji. He's a friend of mine. I'm gonna be very disappointed if I eat this whole bag of gummy bears before the end of this stream. That's gonna be really bad. But yeah. So is anybody else having anything else to say about waving through a window before we go on to? See, I feel like Forever and Sincerely Me kind of go together.
Yeah. You can talk about For Forever if you want, and then I'll kind of go into Sincerely Me a little bit if you want to.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't really remember Forever. Forever.
Same.
So Forever is like my fourth favorite song. Waving Through a Window is my third favorite. Second favorite is We Will Be Found, and the first favorite is Sincerely Me.
My first favorite.
So basically,
go ahead.
Honestly.
No, Michelle, go ahead. I cut Michelle off. Go ahead.
So in For Forever, basically this is the part where I keep on saying Dear Evan Hansen instead of saying Evan Hansen. Anyways, that's when he starts making up the memories of Connor, of them being friends and everything, and everyone being like, "Oh, we didn't even know you were friends."
Yeah.
And Tyler, what were you wanting to say?
Well, I was just gonna go into Sincerely Me after we kind of like talk a little bit about For Forever.
I decapitated my gummy bear.
All right, Liz, stop eating the gummy bears and let's do.
I haven't
eaten all day. So okay, so Sincerely Me, since it's Tyler's favorite, he's gonna kick it off.
Okay, so Sincerely Me is basically Evan Hansen and crap, I forget the other character's name.
Connor?
Crap. No, well, he's basically like writing like letters, like he's like talking to Connor. I think Jared's helping him write the letters or whatever. Yeah, and they're like going back and forth on like how to like write it. And it's pretty fun. Like a little bit of it's pretty funny. I laugh at the song.
I like the part when he's typing in the stuff and then he goes and says, "My sister's hot."
What the hell? My hell?
And that laugh of, "Oops, my bad," and that laugh he does.
Oh gosh, that laugh.
Yeah.
Laugh haunts me in my dreams.
I feel like it brings a sort of energy and like happy like part of the show instead of it all being like upsetting, like depressed, like, and then it just adds you know.
Yeah, it adds more happiness, I guess you can say.
Happiness, right?
Yeah,
and that's really
it's like the comedy bit of the show of it in the moment.
And what I also love is like how they use the lighting. It's going a little bit of technical. We usually do technical last, but how they use the lighting effect, like to show that they're online. I love that.
Yeah.
Like the solo spotlights, whenever they were online, and whenever the light cut out, they would do like the little log off sound. I love that. That's the way they used it. I think that was very creative.
Yeah. Some of the sound effects and like lighting's amazing.
Yeah. So
especially really quick, since we're kind of talking about lighting, it like especially like I'm gonna quickly just go back into waving,
Sure.
right as they like push Evan Hansen like down, and then that like spotlight just like pops up on him.
Oh yeah,
I die.
That gives me goosebumps.
Facts.
Christina, if you do not put your phone away, I swear to God.
All right, and then if you stop eating the gummy bears,
I haven't eaten.
Eat something other than sugar.
What if I'm reading a book?
Fine.
All right, read the Dear Evan Hansen book.
I don't have that. I have a Harry Potter book right next to me.
You're not gonna be
gummy bears.
Anyway, so we're gonna go on to Disappear, which is kind of like a short little song. Basically, it's like the opening song that goes into "You Will Be Found," and it asks like the $1 million question, like, have you ever felt like you're alone or you don't like? Hence the name "Disappear." Ask if you think if you disappeared, anybody would care. And I feel like we've all have asked ourselves that question so many times. I will admit I have too. And the answers were not always good. But yeah, that's a good that's the best part of growing up. Is that I look back and you're like, oh, I'm kind of glad I didn't go through with it, because then I wouldn't have been here. I wouldn't have been able to do this. But I was fortunate to have people looking out for me, because Lord knows what would have happened. Anyway, so You Will Be Found. It's like I personally feel like it's the anthem of this production, because it gives people hope. If you feel alone, it gives you hope that you will find people who accept you. Somebody else want to chime in? I feel like I'm blabbing.
No, you're good.
I don't really have that much to say about Disappear.
I went right into You Will Be Found. Sorry. Okay, so I kind of combined the two since you kind of hear both of them.
Yeah, like, so really, You'll Be Found, isn't that when, like, he, like, somewhat, like, becomes, like his, like, letters start, like...
Yeah,
everyone starts noticing him. And for me, I don't know about any of you, my favorite quote of the whole show is, even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, when you're broken on the ground, you'll be found. Favorite quote in the whole musical.
I would say that's a verse. Yeah, that's because we all need that one friend to be like, hey, I'm here for you.
Right.
Kyle.
Because like,
hey, I'll be right back.
Because with Disappear and with Be Found, and Disappear, it's kind of like people wondering, if I did disappear one day, would anybody notice? And then in Be Found, you realize you will have people in your life who notice that, if you disappeared, that eventually you would be found. Someone be like, what happened to this person?
Yeah.
Like that's the thing about You Will Be Found, because You Will Be Found, if he starts getting noticed because of a lie, because he lies to Connor's parents and be like, yeah, that's the letter he wrote me. Kind of, I guess, ruins the song a little bit, because he is being noticed, but he's being noticed because he lied to people and be like, oh, I was friends with him when nobody else was, which is never okay. Don't ever lie about that.
Yeah.
Especially like in the beginning, he did try to tell them, but when he heard the mother saying, this is all we have left of our son and everything, that's when he kind of just felt like he needed to help them.
Yeah. So because he wanted to
help.
What?
There's always going to be someone that would help someone that's not doing well. You know what I mean? Even if it's hard to talk to them about it.
Yeah. So that's why it's great to have those friends. Like anybody who really knows me, I think like Christina at this point, like she's I guess one of these people. If like she can tell there's something wrong with me. She knows the indicators. My friend Brittany, people at school, people at work, they know the indicators when there's something wrong with me, and they will keep bothering me. And I tell them.
Like the time at Disney when I had that incident with Splash Mountain when I was working there, and you were like, "Oh, I was so upset." Remember when I told you the story?
I thought you were talking about the veteran who was threatening.
That too. But
yeah, veteran, I remember that. I was popped that day when you got threatened by the veteran.
They were because with what happened with Splash Mountain when I was training, they didn't like me because I had a disability. Yeah. And I had accommodations, and that was really like, are you serious? Because I have accommodations, you're gonna? Because I said to them, I said, do you have a child with a disability or not? Like, my child's perfect. They don't have a disability. It's like, what will want you to work here if you're going to make fun of someone that has a accommodation?
Yeah, and your disability doesn't hinder your job that much.
No, not at all. And you knew how upset I was.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. And so when you get to know people enough, you start to pick up indicators when you know there's something wrong. A perfect example was last spring before I was already exhausted because work had kept scheduling me at times while I was still in class, and it was a Wednesday, I believe. And I was like, I was checking my schedule for next week, and I was just like, I looked at my schedule, and again, they had me scheduled for a time that I can't work because I was in class, or I would just get out of class and I'd be late to work, and I was just like, I just shut down, and I just. We have couches, and if y'all remember the Johnson lobby I showed you guys, we have couches. We used to have couches in there, and I just like lie down on the couch, and I just watched Doctor Who, and everyone was coming up to me and asking me if I was okay, and I just shook my head yes, because I didn't want to talk about it. Mm-hmm. My friend Riley came over, and she told me to sit up, and I did, because I'm very obedient. And so she asked me if I'm okay, and I said yes, I am. And she looks at me, and all it took was for me to look at her, and I just started sobbing, and I just explained everything to her. And it was it's great to have those people who know when something's wrong. Anyway, we're gonna go back to the song. We keep it is, especially with this kind of production, it's easy to get off track with this kind of stuff. After You Will Be Found, we have Only Us. Okay, also You Will Be Found is the Act 1 closer, which I think is a great song to close Act 1 with. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Unlike Hamilton, which I still argue that Yorktown should have been the closer, but that's just me. But yeah, so next we have Only Us. Who voted for Only Us?
So only
Mike.
What?
Your microphone.
Mic check.
You guys can see why we were a little late because of the technical difficulties.
Hello.
Better.
I don't know why my mic's going. I don't know why it's like this.
Anyway, so you were saying, Tyler?
So if I remember right, because I kind of forget the characters' names a little bit, isn't that between Evan Hansen and Zoe?
It's
yes.
No, yeah, Zoe and Evan. It's Zoe and Evan.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. You were saying?
That's all. Like, I kind of forget like what that really is about.
So Only Us basically is Zoe, like letting Evan Hansen know that she likes him, like, you know, that they have feelings for each other, basically letting each other know that they have feelings for each other. And
yeah,
because he was trying so hard, being stuttering and everything, like, and, you know, trying to talk to her but not being able to get the words out, which I think we all understand that when we like somebody. And
I'm very happy
like her calming him down, just being like, hey, you don't have to try so hard.
Yeah, that's my problem. I just can't say what I mean if I like somebody, or if I do, I mess it up, and that's probably why I'm still single. Kyle will say that it's because I'm a coward, which is completely and utterly true. I am a coward. I keep it to myself. I don't tell the person. I'm okay with just having a crush on them and just observing them. Gosh, like I have a whole bunch of things going through my head that Kyle and Ashley and Dante and some other people I know would just tease me about. I'm gonna keep it to myself. Because y'all don't need to know that, because I feel like my cheeks are turning red. So I'm just gonna do this for a while until my cheeks aren't red anymore, because
Wait, where did Michelle go? Cause
I'm right here. You're talking about Christina.
Christina, that's what I meant.
She left. She'll be
Okay. You will be back.
Somebody continue on. I'm trying to keep myself from turning.
Oh
my god.
So we're on Only Us.
Yeah.
Did we finish that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we are on Good For You.
Yes.
Good or you? Good or you?
Good or you?
Good or you?
Good for you or good for you?
Good for you.
Good for you. It's good for you.
Sorry.
With Heidi.
Well, good for you.
Okay. So she's back.
Sorry.
So yeah. What do you have
good,
any?
she's back because it's on her song.
I don't. Yeah. Or did you just randomly pick a song, Christina?
No, I picked this one because I was reading the lyrics because I was actually replaying the song a couple times and I wanted to hear the lyrics, and I actually liked it because I was thinking of course, John and my cousin Robbie, and just thinking of the words and the lyrics, thinking of them all, because that song just got to my eye, caught my heart. Mm-hmm. So I was just like, this song just proves that they needed someone, they needed their help, they needed love and their support, and they didn't get that because Robbie actually overdosed. I know that's totally something different, but still, he died at a young age.
They never said how Connor died in the show. Did he? I
didn't get to finish the whole.
They never specifically said what he died of, I believe.
I feel like because they mentioned that he did drugs, and I think he probably had died of an overdose.
Because that's what my cousin did. Yeah.
Because that's usually the most common way of that people. A lot of the time. Don't ask if I know this because I'd rather not go into it. But a lot of the time they'll do an accidental OD because it's harder to stop once the drugs in your system. It's harder to stop. Rather than if you hang yourself and someone finds you, they can resuscitate you. But once the drugs are in your system, they're in your system. And even if you survive it, you'll still be messed up. Mm-hmm. Don't forget, Liz, if you click on the live chat, it'll appear on screen. Yeah, I know that. They're happy now. They're happy
now. Because I was just reading the lyrics. The first thing that jumped out of me was, so you found a place where the grass is greener, and you jumped the fence to the other side. Is it good? Hold on, let me get to the rest. I got lost for a second. Or are they giving you a world I could never provide? I was just thinking of them. They should have talked to someone.
Yo, that's just
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that just made me think of my biological mother and how when she gave me up, she probably wondered.
Oh, I'm sorry, Liz.
No, it's okay. I even though I do hate for her that she gave me up, I'm kind of happy she did because I wouldn't know you guys. I'd probably be dead or starving in the street.
What she did was right. You know what she did? She did something right. She gave you up, but she didn't give you the life that she couldn't have.
I feel like if my parents now hadn't adopted me, I would have been adopted because I was a very cute baby. Also I had pneumonia, so if that probably would have killed me. Anyway, on a happy note.
Wait, how old were you again when you were adopted?
A year and a half, I think.
Okay.
So I don't remember much. I get like sometimes like I'll get flashes. Like I remember the wallpaper. It was like a kind of like a very very pale, almost like this color a little bit, but it looked more raggy. But yeah. So At this point, like everything's like falling apart. Like Evan's lives are falling apart, and everyone is starting to hate him. Which is, I mean, let's be real. You can only tell a lie for so long.
Yeah, Liz. If you read the "Good for You" lyrics, like you can see how like it's big. It's like emotional.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I picked that song. That's why I had to listen like through 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. So does anybody else have anything else to say about Good for You?
I don't think so.
No? No one else like that song? What was that?
I don't know. Okay, so we have next on our list is World Fail?
Words fail. I probably spelled it wrong.
Yeah, you said world like Earth.
I don't know.
Is this on the private chat?
Yeah.
Oh.
And
Okay.
so how did you all feel about that?
Okay, one of my favorites.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so words fail is basically him isn't it like basically talking about like all of his like lies and how it like failed.
Mm-hmm. It's like his just coming clean story, basically.
Right.
Yeah, he's finally admitting to the family, because at this point, I think the family, because he had to to the Elena or whatever her name is, the lady who just keeps on getting involved in all this when she doesn't really need to, in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, honestly, we don't even believe that you were actually friends with him anymore. So, this and that. And he's trying to prove to her, oh, well, I am, and everything,
really is.
Yeah, the fact that he went as far as to make fake emails is just, no, man, that's too much work. I mean, I wouldn't. So then he writes a suicide note saying it was supposed to be Connor's. This thing I wasn't clear about. So was the suicide note actually his suicide note? Because when he was up in the tree and he fell, he actually didn't fall. He actually, just let himself go and everything, because he was having a hard time with depression as well. Mm-hmm. I don't really know. I feel like Tyler would know that more than I do, because this is one of his favorite productions.
Sorry, what? I'm sorry. What?
What? So the part where he shows a suicide note to the one lady.
Yep.
Did he write that? Was that like his suicide note, or did he physically write that suicide note for Connor?
I honestly don't remember.
Yeah.
I haven't really listened to Dear Evan Hansen in a little bit.
Yeah. But like, I mean, anyway. I know for some, like, I know for me, it's a hard show to watch if you can relate to it as strongly as a lot of us can. Yeah. And it will Sorry, go ahead.
So he gives this email to the girl, and the girl is just like, oh, well, we need to share this with everybody. And he's like, no, delete it. And
I know what you're talking about. I know exactly. Yeah, the letter that he wrote at the beginning that Connor took from him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, Evan wrote that one. That was his original one that he was going to give his therapist, but Connor took it from him because he thought he was writing about him, like being mean to him, and Connor didn't hear him out.
It's just because they had already found that email. They had already found that, so why would they think that was the suicide note? That's the one thing.
Because Connor had it on him when he died. When they found Connor's body, he had that letter. So he thought that letter, he was writing that letter to Evan to say goodbye to Evan.
Okay. So the lady posts the email, and basically at this point, I'm assuming a bunch of people are like coming against the family, just saying like they should have done more. They should have done more. They should have gotten help. They should have realized, what he was going through and stuff like this. And I think dear Evan Hansen felt bad that a bunch of people were coming against them for no reason. So he that's why he came clean, because he was just like, I don't. And also, I don't know how that all came about.
See,
at the end, I don't.
Those kind of people, like, they lost their son, and yes, they could have done more. They could have been more involved in their son's life, but they already feel bad that they lost their son. You don't need to be going at them being like, you should have done one, like nagging them because they didn't do their job as parents. That's not okay.
People do get that all the time. They do get that hate. They do get that. Like, people go after them. Like, you should have done more. You should have done more.
I'm
like actors.
You don't have no room to judge. You guys didn't know Connor.
So, like some actors, I don't know if everyone knows who River Phoenix is from Stand By Me.
Oh.
And like Jonathan Brandis, like they committed suicide or overdose, and people, because actors get when after like they're not doing so well.
Yeah.
And people like, oh, you should have done more. You should have their careers and all that, like something like that.
It just like Corey, what's his name? Finn from Glee. I recently watched I recently watched the whole entire thing of Glee, and that part of his death and everything just it still got to me. It still got to me.
Yeah, the episode's called The Quarterback. It's like basically an entire episode dedicated to Finn. And that's they're saying that show's cursed now.
Why?
Because 3 people from that show have died, and it's not just that. They sang a song about how they were gonna die. So Corey, who played Finn, before he died, one of his last few songs was about drug abuse, and he died of drugs. The guy who played Puck had child pornography, and he hung himself. And the song he was playing had dealt with that. And then Naya Rivera, she sang "If I Die Young," mentions being drowned in the river, and she drowned in the river. So people are now saying that show is cut.
Wow, that's really weird. Wait,
and
so
also,
who was the second person?
Didn't she die?
The guy who played Puck, he hung himself because he was caught with like a whole bunch of child pornography.
When was that?
That was like years ago. Like that was after,
okay.
But before Naya. And Naya was at the beginning of 2020.
Yeah, okay, I remember that.
But
Naya Rivera, didn't she die like a day after the anniversary of Finn?
I think so. All I know is that she went out on a boat and so here's the thing with her.
Her son.
Yeah, well, here's the thing with her. They say she had been missing for like 3 days after they found her son. So, which means she was somewhere in the water. And they had to wait for her body to be washed up, or they found her in the water. Naya Rivera was a very good swimmer, and I get that the boat wasn't anchored down. I get that. I guess she got her son up on the water, back on the boat. Here's my thing. She went back under. If I don't know if she got sucked under or whatnot, or if it's kind of like the riptide. I don't know why she didn't just swim away from the boat. Because if she had swam away from the boat, she would have been able to come back up. That's what I don't understand.
My understanding was that there was an overcurrent, so she saw something, or she realized they needed to get out of the water. She got her son out of the water, and just after she got her son out of the water, like the overcurrent swept her underneath, and she drowned.
Yeah, see, that's what I don't get. Like, it's like, because when you're at the beach, especially like a big like an example like Bondi Beach over in Australia, because of the riptide that pulls you out. They tell you not to swim against the current because you'll exhaust yourself. You swim outward like that to get out. But that's how you get out of the riptide. So you don't end up in shark-infested water. That's how you go out. And so I don't understand why, like, if she, like, I mean, I just feel like adrenaline should have been pumping through her body or something like that, because your body pumps adrenaline through your body when you're in that kind of situation. I don't know, just something about her death doesn't sit right with me. I don't know. I don't just be overthinking it because I don't want her to be dead, but unfortunately she is. But and she is missed, and so is Finn. I didn't really care for Puck. It is that he took his life, but I didn't really care for Puck or Finn. I didn't really care for anybody but Naya Rivera in that show. I didn't like anybody else in that show. I did not like Rachel. She was a bitch. I hated Rachel.
Leah
Michelle.
You don't like her?
No, I hated that character. I hated Rachel Berry so much. She was just so annoying. I don't know why, but also the cast has said repeatedly that they didn't like working with her because she's such a drama queen. Because they had to run on her schedule. So like when she's there, she's ready to work, and if she's not ready to work, if you guys aren't ready to work, she gets mad or something like that. I don't know. And so she was just a drama queen. I'm like, I do not like her. I'm sure she's a sweet girl, but like, I mean, to be fair, you guys are on a show. You're there to do a show, get the work done. But like, I feel like she was going about it the wrong way. Anyway, we're getting way off track.
Yeah. Where were we?
You on we're literally on the last song of the production, and then we can go back to talking about Glee. Y'all, we should do a Glee special.
I'm good.
I
surprisingly,
like a few weeks ago, binge watched the whole entire thing of Glee.
I can't watch it because like I miss Naya too much. I wanted to meet Naya so badly.
Be honest, from season 1 through whatever season, how many seasons?
Yeah, she was all the way. She was in it throughout the entire thing, pretty much.
How many seasons were there?
5, I think.
5. Oh, okay.
I wasn't a huge fan of Glee personally.
Nor was I.
I got into it like a year after it came out, because like honestly, when I saw like a first few episodes, and I was just like, I don't know, this looks kind of corny. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. I remember the only episode I watched was the Gaga versus Katy episode, where like the fans who like Lady Gaga had to sing a Katy Perry song, and the Katy Perry fans had to sing a Lady Gaga song. That's the only episode I watched, and I only watched it because Demi Lovato was in it. That was literally the only reason why I started watching the show. And then when she left the show, I stopped watching it. But yeah, because she had to go back to the X Factor at the time. Because she was doing both. She was doing the X Factor and doing Glee. So yeah. So not only did she have a whole bunch of contestants.
Okay, so they never explained why, like where Demi Lovato went. She was there, and then the next thing you know, gone. The same thing with
Santana explained to Brittany that they had broken up.
Oh, okay.
Because I think like
what happened to the one guy?
What guy? There's like 5 guys on the show.
No, what's his name? Darn it! He was on the show around the same time as Demi Lovato.
Adam Levine.
Adam Levine. That's it.
Yes, him and Danny. His character and Danny, supposedly their band went on tour, and Santana didn't want to go on tour, so they broke up so they could go on tour. So that's how they came out. Which is
okay.
Okay, so we're gonna go back to the finale of Dear Evan Hansen because that is where we are at right now.
Yeah.
But yeah. So overall, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like the best. I don't know. I might be biased, but I just feel like You Will Be Found. The way they did that number is just like by far one of the best spectacles.
What I feel like You Would Be Found would also like fit really well as like an ending.
Oh yeah, definitely.
As like yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Because originally, like when I first started hearing about the musical, I thought You Would Be Found was like the final like song of the show.
Yeah, same. You would think so.
Right, and it's like
because technically the very last song is the So Big So Small, and I was like, seriously, this is the last song? You end it with this?
Yeah. It's kind of like with Beetlejuice after like the whole. Actually, no, it's reversed with Beetlejuice. Like after the whole first act happens, the rest of the act is kind of eh.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of musicals are like that, where like Act 1 is so full energy and good, and then the second act is like.
Hard.
And there's like very, in my opinion, that I've personally like watched. There's very few where the energy of the show with the music is same or even better. Like example, probably something that is easily.
I'd say Hamilton.
Yeah. Newsies is like the same energy as Act 1, possibly even better, especially with King of New York, and Once and for All.
Yeah, and same thing with Wicked, because like after Defying Gravity, I think the next best song in Wicked is probably, in my opinion, is probably No Good Deed.
Personally, for me, I kind of disagree, but that's also my opinion.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Where Wicked, I feel like Defying Gravity just tops it, where like you can't beat that with Act 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like after you hear like Defying Gravity, especially
like,
that last riff, intermission, and then I just feel like it just goes down.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
you can leave the show. You don't even need to watch Act 2.
Right.
Nothing important happens in Act 2.
Ugh, that was so bad.
Oh yeah. No offense, but yeah, it was, and I can't even.
No.
But I can like I told Kara when we had her on. I can hold the notes. I have the lung capacity to hold it perfectly. I just can't hit the note.
Right. Yeah.
And I can throw a little riff in there if I wanted to. Because you should see me in my car whenever like Defying Gravity goes on. I riff like I try riff. It's really bad.
I can't riff. I could try.
I mean,
but
yeah,
it's not pretty.
I find like this is how I learned how to riff. It's like I watched. Like I listen to Defying Gravity and I copy the riff over and over again, and then I'll add like a different note in there, and then you keep doing that over and over again. Or you find a video on YouTube of somebody riffing and you just copy what they do. That's how I learn.
Right. Like I can do it. It's just not pretty.
Yeah, it hurts. You don't have to
choir.
What?
Especially
Sorry.
It's usually sometimes you'll hear something and you'll sing along with it and you'll be able to hit the notes, or you think you'll hit the notes, and then you try to sing it solo with just the music and you're like, yeah, not as good as I thought I was.
Yeah. But Christina, what were you saying?
Yeah, when I did choir from 5th through 8th grade, I was what is it? Sopranos and alto? Is it sopranos and
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was the highest. I don't know if that's
soprano.
Yeah, so I was a soprano. Like I went back and forth.
I have despite my high pitched voice, I'm actually an alto because I sing at a lower bass.
Yeah,
I'm also a soprano.
You're messing up.
Choir in middle school.
Let me guess, my mic you said is messing up?
Yep. You said the best mic to get? Look at that.
But yeah.
Alright.
I mean, overall, like I think every show has I feel like Newsies and Hamilton are probably like those two rare ones that like Act 2 is just as good as Act 1. And that's the hard thing with musicals is making sure that so after Act 1, how are we gonna top Act 2 to make sure people don't get bored and leave?
Yeah.
That's the big pick. Your mic's still messed up.
Yeah. I don't know if it's his headset or his mic.
I don't think it's his mic. It might be the wireless.
But he's muted. He's muted.
But yeah, so I mean, like overall, like I feel like if you what?
Go ahead.
I feel like overall, I feel like Dear Evan Hansen, especially I feel like this is the kind of show that you want to watch if you can't really relate to the characters, because if you do, it will make you cry. Like you will bawl your eyes out. Because like I think they did such a great job of capturing how a lot of us feel it sometimes, and like actually think like, oh my gosh, that's me. And like in an actual real life situation, unlike with Wicked, like everybody can relate to Elphaba. We've all been the outcast and all that, but she's like a fictional character. Dear Evan Hansen is like something that could actually happen in reality. Mm-hmm. I think that's what makes it more realistic. Is that like we all see each other in Evan's position. So that's my final thought. Anybody else?
So then, okay. So something I never understood was after the email gets released and everything, and people start coming up against the family, and Evan Hansen admitting to the family, like, oh, it's fake, it's all fake. I'm the one who wrote it, and everything. Mm-hmm. So when you see him again meeting Zoe over in the orchard and everything, like a year or something has passed and everything. So I never understood how everything like blew over. How because they said that he said, "Oh, you could have you never ever said that it was me. I was the one who wrote all the emails. It was my fault. You never did that, So I never understood. I never understood how everything just got blown over from, especially the one lady who was handling all the orchard stuff and everything. So I just never had. I never understood how they got her to like blow it all off. Like that just never made sense.
I feel like because overall, if you actually take a step back, it's not a bad thing that Evan did. I mean, because if you also look at him, it's like, yo, he's a kid who has anxiety and who can't really like show it. And so when you know that about Evan, it's like, can you really blame him for doing it?
No.
And so I feel like that's what the mother came to realize. Is like, oh, okay, well, maybe. So I think she realized, like, hey, so this is a thing.
Like I just meant like with everybody else other than the mother. Like I don't understand how everyone else, like how they had all these questions and then the questions never got answered. I'm like, yeah, you would have thought somebody would have been like, hey, whatever happened to this or that? You know, they just went about their lives. I'm like, okay, that's just, yeah. I liked the ending. I thought the ending was good. Hey, you never know. Maybe at some point down the line, Evan Hansen and Zoe might get back together. You never know. Maybe not. But at least they'll have a civil relationship now.
Yeah, but like overall, it's a show I recommend you watch, because it will open your eyes to like what some people can have to deal with if they have anxiety. Like myself, you understand. I'm not saying that like nobody else has ever had anxiety. It's but like to have it actually like deal with it every day, because I know sometimes you get anxiety like every other day, but like people like me, I deal with it every day, not every other day. But I highly recommend it. Once Broadway opens back up, if it opens up, I recommend you all go and see Dear Evan Hansen. It's a good show.
And I've heard they've been in talks to make a movie.
Yes, there is, and I think Ben's trying to sign on for it.
Yeah, like they're trying to get him to make sure he plays the role. Yeah, in the movie, which I totally agree with. That has to be him. Yeah.
So, like, if anybody else doesn't have any more thoughts, we're gonna wrap this up. And the new merch line, our new Theater 101 merch is gonna be dropping as soon as I'm done with. I'm literally in my Photoshop thing editing it right now. Like,
I want to see it. Can we stay on when we go back green screen or whatever, we could see it?
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, I have this awful taste in my mouth.
Your gummy bears.
It's not the gummy bears. I have this special nail polish that when you put it on your fingers and it keeps you. It's supposed to get you to stop biting your fingers, and it tastes horrible. And
get your nails done. That's what I did. I finally got my nails done, and they grew. No.
Nope, it doesn't work. But yeah. So when we're done with the stream, I will be dropping the new merch line. Make sure y'all go and check it out. It's gonna be blank. It's not gonna have our Theater 101 name on there. You can put your name in there. You can put your favorite Broadway show. You can put whatever you want on it. I will have the customization option on. So be sure to go ahead and support my channel. If you have not yet liked this video, please please do that. Be sure to subscribe for future episodes, because we actually have the list right here. We have a lot of fun episodes coming up, and our next show is going to be a Disney show, and I have the perfect one picked out. And so it's not Ratatouille, sadly. I have to get it. Tyler, we will do it, okay? I have to get it first, okay? I need to get in touch with my people and be like, yo, can you, like, maybe smuggle me? Anyway, no, I'm joking. That is not how I get these shows. But, yeah. So, if nobody else has
my people.
Yeah, let's get it done. To say, go ahead and say it now, because we are about to sign off for the night. No? Going once.
Wait, what?
Going twice?
If anyone has anything going on with them in their personal lives, whether it's a social anxiety or if they're dealing with depression, please talk to somebody. There is people to talk to. You will be found. Please,
you should do a website down at the bottom.
Yeah, I will. I'll go back. If you don't feel comfortable talking to a therapist or whatnot, contact us on Instagram. You can DM me anytime. I am a night owl. You can ask Christina. I will stay up till whatever hours.
Yeah, just put our Instagrams on there, and
yeah, I will do that. So y'all have a great night. Thank you for joining us on the season finale, season premiere of season 2 for 1. And y'all, I think I came up with a good name for this series, like a good actual official name.
Really?
So, and I quite frankly am pretty proud of it. I think it's good. I think it's cute, and I might change it either way if you guys don't like it or not. But anyway, so that's our show tonight. Y'all stay safe. Wear your masks. Wear a mask. Use hand sanitizer because you want COVID over with. All right, y'all have a great night.
My mic was off. I had the wrong mic. No!
Wow.
Yo, really quick, before we sign off. All right, really quick. We finally have the name for the podcast that I talked about last stream. We are officially calling it the Disney Dreamers Podcast. The first season episode is up now on Spotify. Just type in the Disney Dreamers Podcast.
Oh, it's already up there?
Yeah. I'll send you the link in the group chat. All right.
We're going to sign on off. Y'all have a great night. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks on the 14th.
2 weeks. All right. Bye, guys.
28th. My bad. 28th. Bye.
Bye.